Welcome to PALC's video series, Winging It.
My name is Sarah.
And I'm Zealand.
And we're sitting down with PALC's staff, students, and alumni to learn more from and about the PALC's community.
And we're here to answer your questions, provide you with announcements, and dig deeper with the people that make PALC's possible.
Let's get into it. Today, we're interviewing a few of the winners from our middle school Black History Month Oratorical Competition.
All right, so this year, the middle school sponsored a Black History Oratorical Competition. And the Oratorical Competition really helped us highlight the many contributions that those from the African diaspora have contributed to the entire world. And I will say that we had a number of entries this year. Students memorized previously delivered speeches. They also wrote their own speeches. And so it was amazing just to view all of their creativity and just listen to their words of wisdom that they offered to their classmates. This was our first oratorical competition here at PALC, so we were really excited.
I love it. I am so excited about these speeches, and I'm so excited to talk to your students who have delivered some of them and written some of them and are really at the forefront of this brand new project.
They did an amazing job. And in the middle school, we do a lot of work around the mission statement of our school. Part of the mission statement is that we want our students to leave PALC's with a multicultural mindset. And so this is right on par with what our mission statement says that we want to do for our students. And I was very, very pleased with all of the submissions.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
So I'm Lillie Mae Sweigert and I'm in 8th grade. So the speech I wrote, since the topic was Agents of Change, a bunch of Black activists talked in my head because obviously they made changes in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the recited one, in language arts, we read about Sojourner Truth and I recited her speech, Aren't I a Woman?
That's awesome. Very cool.
And what's that speech about?
So it's about how she's a woman, how she's not treated like other women because she's Black.
Did you find any similarities between that and yourself? Did you draw any personal reference to it? What drew you to that speech?
I really liked it because I was able to be expressive because it had a lot of emotion to it. And I also agree with it a lot because a lot of women are still not treated equally.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, and thank you for participating in this competition.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Lillie Mae.
Willow, thank you for joining us today. And congratulations, you got first place for original speech. So what did you write about? Talk to us.
It was kind of last minute, but I felt like I kind of needed to write about something that might have not been written about. So I wrote about George Floyd, what happened back May of last year. I wrote a speech about that.
That's awesome. Very
Thank
cool.
you.
So did you just recover the events, or did you talk about your perspective on the situation?
I kind of went over the events that happened, but I also delved more into Mr. Floyd's personal life, like his children, his family, things like that. I feel like it's kind of important to look at him as a person instead of this big figure that everyone can look towards for change and for the future. I think it's more important to look at him as this person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And what was the message you were driving home?
I think the main message of my speech was that I think people didn't really talk about the Black Lives Matter movement until something happened to make them talk about it. So I kind of just went over, I think the main topic of my speech was that Black Lives matter and have always mattered. And I think this was the big turning point.
That's really powerful. Thank you so much, Willow.
Of course, thank you.
So congratulations, Tristan, on winning 3rd place for recitation. What speech did you do?
I did the Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Had a Dream speech.
Oh, awesome.
What drew you to that speech in particular?
Last month, me and my family watched the series Roots, and I was just horrified at how the African Americans were treated back then. So I'm just proud of doing any little I can to help denounce prejudice and support any anti-prejudice laws or way of thinking.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, this is my first year at PALCS, and I'm in 7th grade.
How do you like it so far? I know it's been a weird year.
Yeah, I mean, I like PALCS because I can work at my own pace, like I can work ahead or behind, and I've also got, it kind of brought me to my potential because I've gotten distinguished honor roll for both the first and the second marking period so far.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what is one of your big takeaways from Black History Month and participating in the Black History Month oratorical competition?
Well, I didn't realize how hard it was for the African Americans back then, and it's nice to understand now because I understand how and why the African Americans are so angry at the persistent inequality today.
So, what message do you think is the big thing that you took out of Martin Luther King's speech?
Well, I took that he wanted a future for his kids and for all the African American population. He wanted equality.
Are those things that you
Yep,
want
right.
for your own family in the future moving forward?
Yes, because my family has actually had some experience with prejudice because my dad is Vietnamese, he's Asian, and my mom is Caucasian. So back like when they first met, they would tell us stories of how people would judge them because they looked different. And my sister and I also adopted. So when I used to go to public school, the kids would make fun of me because I didn't look anything like my parents.
So maybe you identify a little bit with the things that you were talking about in your speech?
Yes, a lot.
And maybe there's some empowerment to be had when you embrace your roots and embrace who you are and embrace maybe that you're a little bit different, but know that it doesn't make you any less than anybody else. And if you have that confidence, you can work to try to bring that equality not just to yourself, but to those around you.
Yes, yeah.
Well, thank you,
Thank you
Tristan.
so
Thank
much,
for sharing that with
Tristan.
us.
You're welcome. And also thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later, okay?
My name is Natalia Colon Rosario, and I'm in 8th grade.
So what speech did you recite for the competition?
I've always been passionate about civil rights, so it was difficult to choose just one person to highlight, but I ended up choosing Roy Wilkins in his speech, "The Clock Will Not Be Turned Back." And then for a little bit of background, Roy Wilkins, he was the head of the NAACP at the time, and he was writing this speech because people in Little Rock, Arkansas were trying to bar 9 Black children from attending school.
And that speaks to you personally?
Yeah, I really just like that speech.
What was it in particular? Is it just the children that really brought your attention to it? Is it Roy who brought your attention to it? Is it because he was the leader of the NAACP at the time?
I think it was all of them combined. He just was like seeing all the factors like adding up. He just seemed like the perfect person to highlight.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Natalia, and thank you for sharing your talents with not just us, but our whole school and our whole community.
Thank you.
All right, Natalia, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
My name is Khloe Lapp. I'm in 6th grade, and I wrote a speech about Kwame Ture. I got 2nd place. I chose Kwame because he was a prominent member of the Black Panther Party, and they did some amazing things. Some people knew them as a terrorist group, but in reality, they did amazing things, and they were committed to change, and I just love that about them. And Kwame did some amazing things throughout his life, and being a member of the Black Panther Party was just one of them. So that's why I chose to write about him.
What else did he do besides be a member of the Black Panther Party?
Yeah, he was a great student. I'm not entirely sure where he went to school, but I'm pretty sure he went to school at Howard University. And he was an amazing student. He was involved in different protest groups. He was involved in Congress of Racial Equality. And throughout his school life, he joined a lot of different protesting places. And after schooling was when he became a member of the Black Panther Party.
So if you could join a group after school, what would you do?
If Congress of Racial Equality was a thing, I'm not sure if it is, but I would love to join that. I've heard of it before, and Kwame was a member. So yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Is he somebody that you learned about in one of your classes, or just someone that you've kind of done your research on your own time?
He's someone I've done my research on in my own time. I read a book about him, I think last year, and I just thought it was really cool, the things he did. And I thought it would be cool to do a speech about him when I learned that there was a competition last month.
Do you think that there are any people alive these days that kind of remind you of Kwame or the things that Kwame did?
Oh yeah, for sure. Patrice Cullors is one of them. She's a co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement, and yeah, she's done some amazing things as well. She reminds me of him too.
That's really cool. So what do you think was Kwame's main message that he was trying to really drive forward?
I think that the main message he was trying to bring out is that everyone should be treated equally, and just, yeah, he did some amazing things. He had lunch programs for the Black community because he noticed that a lot of people didn't have the money to get a lot of food. And so the Black Panthers started lunch programs, and to this day, there are programs based off of what he did.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Do you think one day you'll try to be part of or maybe even start a new program that does something similar for your community?
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. We have thought about going to some Black Lives Matter protests, and I think just going to different things like that is a good start. And yes, that would be amazing.
Well, thank you so much. And you sound so inspired by your speech to look into it, to learn about it, to bring forth your passion about it. Do you think we'll be able to look forward to hearing from you again next year in the oratorical competition?
Yeah, yes, I hope to do it next year too. Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be really great. We really look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Khloe. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks to everyone who participated in the Black History Month oratorical competition. You did a great job.
We're so proud of you. Thanks for watching Winging It.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.